Vicky in the car, y'all. Episode 2. Just riding around. Oh, look, it's Dave in the streets. We're gonna pull up on him, see if we can get an interview right quick. Yo, Dave in the street. Vicky in the car. We got Dave here.
I'm in the car.
In the car with Vicky.
The legendary car.
Dave in the streets is in the conversation
that
happen in the car.
Okay. All right.
So, what's something that you think people interpret wrong about Dave?
Something that people interpret wrong about Dave is people. I don't really let people see my serious side and the side of me that's more passionate and disconnected from things like music and other things like that. So, that's probably something.
Yeah, because everybody think you just this
that I don't care about anything.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, that's good, that's good. So we all know Dave as the funny guy, but who is Dave James?
I am, very passionate about my family, and I love God, try my best, and there's too many things. No.
Family guy who loves God.
And I like to. I try my best to give what I can to help people and the best that I can. I can't help people as much as I would like, but that's something I wish.
How do you decide what church that you not only work at, but that you serve at and you call a church home for you and your family? What do you look for?
Oh, if I was looking for a church?
No, you work for a church.
I work for a church.
Yes, what is one of those things that, because it's not just you working for a church, your family comes there too.
Right.
So it's a church home, and you work there and you serve there. So what are some qualities that you look for?
In my own church, in I-5? To me, church is about community. I think that forming connections with people, I think that's what it's about. You want to have a place to worship together where you feel safe when your kids come in there, and that they're in the right community, and just have people that can encourage you when you're messing up in life, help you, and show you love, man. That's to me. If you have a church full of people who are just mean, then it's probably not the place to be at.
Right.
But community, man, having a good community, having a good set of people there that will lift you up, and being able to get something from the stage, whether it's praise and worship and the message, getting something from there, but getting that good community of people that are gonna walk with you,
right?
And that you can give to, really, because it's not just about you. It's also about what you can provide and what you can give to that community. So,
right, good. So, how do you keep a work family balance?
That's very difficult.
Very difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult to keep a work-family balance. Sometimes one of those things is gonna take an L, and you try your best to balance it, but that's hard. It's hard because work doesn't stop, especially if I have little girls. My daughter gives me a speech before I leave the house every day about why I need to stay home. And she makes me feel guilty every day. So not every day, she doesn't do that every day, but she does that sometimes. And that's just, you always want to make your family priority, but then you can't not work. That's just not an option. And so,
So you're still figuring that balance out.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I think it's something that you can only try your best to master. But I don't know if there's a full. I don't know if there is a like optimal. I'm sure some people have it down to where it's just all perfect, but I don't really feel like you can achieve perfection in any dynamic. Like, you know, there's always going to be times where, you know, you spend the most time with your family that you can in that window, but then there's going to be an X factor. There's going to be something that's going to come up that's going to pull you out of the house or pull you in, you know, if you work at home, pull you into your space. That's going to push you, that's going to take a little more time. So it's an imperfect thing that you can only just try to make the most out of the time that you have with your family. You know, when you have that time, and make it as regular as you can. And then when you have time that you're not at work, realizing that that time is your family's first, and that what you quote unquote want or need, you know, try to get that in, you know, with your family, and you know, try not to isolate yourself when you have time, like when your family is all around and awake. You know, spend as much time with them in those moments, and not, you know, hiding from them, you know, on Instagram.
You gotta be
present. You know. So that's, you know.
That's good. Okay. So last question.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 boys.
2 boys.
3 girls now. Congratulations. So, like with you boys, do you feel like you brush off them like falling or crying and be like, you know, what you crying for? do you feel like you tend to do that more with the boys versus the girls?
Definitely. Yeah, because I want my girls to feel like, you know, your dad is gonna save you. You know, I carry them up the stairs. You know, if there's anything that of course they milk that sometimes. Yeah. You know, if there's anything that is causing them distress, I was just, oh my God, you know. But I don't do that much with my boys. I do encourage them, and I give them a lot of that energy, but it's just in a different way.
I mean, why is that? You feel like that you don't want to have the boys show their feelings and affection, and you just want them to be so tough?
No. I do want them to. I do want them to show. I want them to have affection and have that. And the thing is, the reality is, they are growing up with sisters, and so they have that built in. I mean, that's going to be there. In the world, you know, I know that the world that they're going to be thrust into, it just does not cater to when a man hurts himself, or when he is hurt. And that's a very sad thing.
It is, because that's why we get, like, when they get older, they don't know how to express themselves. Right. Emotions, so.
And see, and that's always the line. Like, it's always a tough thing, because, you know, for me, there are things in me about the way that I express my emotions and my hurts that I don't want to pass down to them, because I don't feel like somewhere along the way I went too far with not expressing that I need compassion, or I need somebody to hold my hand or pick me up. And then what happens is you just feel like that's not, as a man, I don't know, you just feel like that's not expedient. Like, you just feel like that it's not your time to do that anymore. Like, your window to say I'm hurting
really? You have a window?
Past. Or like that people will help you. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. Unless you have a community of people that expect that from you. And even in that, because this is the thing. Eventually in your life, for me, and I'll say for me, people kind of look to you for help. You know, as the man, you know, and there are times when stuff can be just burning down, but you have to be kind of like a beacon. And, you know, I want, so, you know, for my boys, I do want them to express it. So like, so for example, if my son hurt himself this morning before I came to work, you know, I brought him up, you know, he cut his hand, you know, gave him, it's a small cut, it wasn't, you know, but, you know, I gave him a Band-Aid, and you know, he whatever he needs, I'm gonna help him and give it to him, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, oh, little guy, because I don't want him to expect that from people, because people are not going to pander to you when you're hurting, and that's just an unfortunate reality. That, you know, but I want them to feel loved, and I want them to feel like, you know, that's why if they get hurt, they tell me. They come, you know, my sons and my kids, they come to me, they, you know, if they need help, or if they're hurting or something, they run to me. But the energy that I give my girls is just different. Like, I'm not gonna carry my boys unless your leg is broken off.
But see,
if you
I think
can't
that's
walk,
why
then
guys
I'll carry
grow
you.
up, and we have to deal with those hurt issues.
Well, what's the limit? Like, tell me, what do you think? If there was a guy that was crying all the time for everything that bad happened to him that you were involved with, and he was like, "Oh, Vicky, help me!"
But no, that's the thing. He can't be crying, but he needs to know how to express himself. Like, that emotional intelligence is real, and I don't think a lot of people know how to express themselves, or like tell people how they feel, or how they feel about a person. Like, it's okay to talk and communicate and express yourself.
So what's the line?
I don't think there's a line. Like, don't be crying. Like, don't cry, but express
yourself.
Don't be crying. Don't be like, nah, I'm good. Like, express yourself.
Do you feel like society and women look at a man who cries often as a weak man?
No, it depends. Like, a manly guy that's crying at the altar, that's attractive.
Nah, we're not talking about the altar.
I mean, but hey, like,
we're talking about he's at work and somebody fried his shoes.
No. Yeah, we ain't doing
They're like,
that.
Boy, look at them.
Yeah, you gotta man up. Like,
oh, okay.
But if it's like expressing themselves, telling you how you feel about a person, or hey, like, this really hurt me, like, being okay to express yourself.
So do you feel like those type of men exist that cry over everything?
Some, yes, and those are sometimes mama's boys. Sometimes, because maybe they didn't get that from their dad, and the mom did too much, so then they just like stuck. But I think there has to be a balance, maybe. But
it's a tough deal.
It's
I heard this statement that was good to me, and I think that this is something that I'm processing now. It's two things. Every man is a combination of femininity and masculinity, just period, because that's scientifically, like, that's, you know. And the second thing is, women, when you hear, there's a lot of resource to show women these are all the facets of how you be a woman, you know. And it's just, especially in the church world, there's a lot of things like that. For men, the definition of the phrase man up and all of that stuff, men are just taught, you know, go to work, like, make sure you work, and be strong.
Right.
And that's about it. Like, and you know, it's not a lot of, even though men have there's a lot that men are not that simple, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of different types of dudes, you know. But, so, men grow up like that, and then they don't have all of the resources to pass down to their kids, you know. Because it's like, if you're just taught, well, you just got to work hard, that's what being a man is, working hard.
And be tough. Yeah, you got to be a strong guy.
Yeah, be a strong guy, and that's it. But then you've got, like, that doesn't give you emotional education, and that doesn't give you, you know, how to deal with other people's emotional intelligence. It just doesn't give you that.
Dave, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
It's a great car.
In the car. Let's get up. I want to dap you up, though.
So okay.
We're going to get out.
Okay. Where can people find your car?
Wherever,
is your
man.
license
You never
plate?
know.
Okay.
No, you just never know where.
You're going to be driving.
Yeah.
All
Never know.
Nice.
Dave,
it was
Dave
real. In the streets. All right. Peace.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Hey. Oh, look. There's. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Now it's going to be Dave in the car. It's going to be my show.
For real, Dave?
Peace out, Vicky.